And once again, Atlanta delivers. All weekend it did, as it does for the last couple of years. I keep saying it, and it backs it once again. It's one of the best tracks on the circuit. We're heading to Dakota this week. I know it's a road course, but I got to tell you, there seems to be a consensus across the internet right now, especially on the Bird, that it is one of the most exciting tracks. The NASCAR is off to a great start. You follow up Daytona with an incredible race weekend with the truck to the Busch to now the Cup Series back to back from Mr. Tyler Reddick into Atlanta. It's a great weekend. Of course, we have the Carson Hocevar drama. Was there a gap? Was there not? Is he too reckless? Is he good for the sport? Is he bad for the sport? Denny Hamlin weighs in. I weigh in. It's going to be a great show. Sit back, relax, grab yourself a little bit of a drink ski or whatever you like to do, and let's get up after. We're trying to get to 1,000 subs, so if you guys smash the like button and subscribe. We're also going to be talking about the standings, which seem to be very intriguing thus far. Which teams are getting wins and which teams aren't. Now, I know it's an early start. It's 2 drafting tracks. Doesn't really kind of tell you the whole story, but I don't know if starting in the back right now is the best place to be, especially when you don't win, you don't get in. Tyler Reddick obviously was a contender along with Bubba Wallace last year. Those two are your 1-2. They have been dominant. And I'm not going to say that there was a guy on this channel somewhere that felt pretty damn good about it, but I think there was a guy on this channel that said, hey, these 2 times, that 23-11 team, watch out, okay? They're up and coming. Keep your eyes and ears peeled for them. But let's talk about this weekend first, which was a great weekend, again, of racing. Tyler Reddick pulls it off with half a fender. I mean, there is a video online, and maybe we played it here in just a minute, of him going from dead last after getting into the wreck, right, taking out half the field, but all the guys came back. I think they did a great job of putting the cars back together and making them try to finish to get some points. And this man, I thought I was watching a NASCAR, like the video game. You know, back in the day when you played and you didn't even qualify, you just started dead last because you knew that you'd be passing by the bots. This is what it looked like. Tyler Reddick just went from dead last to third in about 2.5 laps, and it looked like everybody else was just sitting still. This guy went after run after run after run. The ability to pass on Atlanta is what makes it so great. Now, some may say it's too many times. I think that it gives you that ability to be free flowing. You don't have to be stuck into the draft. You can go outside, out by yourself. You don't necessarily just lose your entire momentum. It's almost better sometimes because of the runs that you get. They talked about it all pre-race about how the runs happen so fast. The way that Carson was maneuvering in and out is so fun to watch. And I'm going to give you a free little tester here in case you don't like my thoughts on this. For anybody that hates on Carson, just hates the sport because the guy is fun to watch. Can he be a bit reckless? Be a bit over the edge? Duh. Okay? It happens. I'd rather that than the alternative, but I digress. Tyler Reddick going back-to-back off to an absolute banger to a start. And Tyler Reddick is a threat everywhere. He's going to be a threat in Coda next week. Okay? He'll be a threat at Phoenix. He's going to be a threat any way you look at this young man throughout the entire season. And I love it for 23-11. I love it for Jordan. All right? He's had fun. I don't know if there's some kind of like interview good juju happening right now, but I feel like when Jamie Little gets the interview and talks to him about how he's feeling about the race, it's almost like a foreshadowing. Like, we're going to come back. Don't you worry, Jordan. We'll be right here. But for them to come out and to win, Bubba Wallace, and I was kind of I've been a component of Bubba. The pouting after the fact's got to stop. The only person he can blame is himself, right? Didn't make the right move. I mean, I get it. You hate to lose. There's one winner, but there has to be that understanding. And I think that for me anyways, I think a lot of guys are realizing that just finish. You still want to finish on the top. Don't necessarily sell the farm to be up there. I was worried Carson was going to do that, but held his own very well leading up to the breakdown here of the standings. And then we're going to talk about the gap. Was there a gap for Carson Hocevar? Was he too aggressive? We're going to play a clip from Denny, his thoughts on it. A lot of people had thoughts on it and have spoke about it, but Denny's always one of my favorites to listen to. But for teams with multiple top 10s in 2026, you've got 23-11 with 5. So remember, Herbst was a top 5 finish last week. That was your 3. And then of course Reddick and Bubba finished top 2 this past weekend. RFK, them Fords have been quick, man. Mr. Buscher's up there right now, which I love. He was a playoff pick here for your boy. Okay, keep your eyes and ears. I'm just telling you, watch out. Brad Keselowski's been doing his thing as well. Spire Motorsports, Carson Hocevar has been absolutely electric. That's a team in a whole conversation in itself. That this is why I wanted him to leave Spire, because I feel like he's out, he's alone out there. We could, again, this when we get into it, we'll talk about more about the Spire situation. I'm getting ahead of myself. Trackhouse, obviously, we've got Connor Zilic, who looked really good in that Tootsie 88. SVG, hey, I'm not saying whoever's running this show, whoever had the foreshadowing here, but you get off to a good start. You got a lot of your road courses bunched up in the beginning. Watch out for SVG. Well, you better buckle the F in, okay? Because SVG is right here, boys. Just saying. Let me cook. Let me cook. Then Team Penske, two top tens. Ryan Blaney and Joey Logano. I told you Austin Cindric and Bowman were your two that were going to get bumped from the playoffs. Both them boys are ass right now. Ass, okay, with a capital A. So that's where we're at with the team. You know, I didn't mention a team. That's Team Hendrick. Kyle Larson just loves to crash the entire field. Okay. We'll see. Bowman, like I said, ass with a capital A. Byron has had some bad luck. He's been up there, just had himself some bad luck. So there's where we stand with those guys. But let's take a look at these standings. These standings are juicy, and I know it's early. Got a lot to get after it. But there's some heavy hitters up there that I picked to be in the playoffs. Who did I pick? I picked old Tyler Reddick. I picked old Bubba Wallace. I picked old Chase Elliott. I picked Carson Hocevar. I picked Logano to miss. Suarez is not going to make it. I picked Blaney. I did not pick Zane Smith. I picked Busher. I picked Rossi. Okay. I definitely picked Byron, and I picked Shane Van Gispen, and I picked Briscoe and Hamlin, who's way down there in 27th right now. But I got a little ahead of myself. Tyler Reddick, obviously, with a massive lead so far. Logano obviously been very consistent. I don't see him moving in too much. And Daniel Suarez, although I'm giving him some flack, has finished very well thus far in your drafting series. But some interesting names down at the bottom. Christopher Bell, who obviously we know got off to a hot start last year, winning at Atlanta. I think he rattled off 3 in a row. Was it, if I'm not mistaken? So let's not sleep on old Bell just yet. Okay, his strengths are heading into it here in the next. Yeah, because he won a Coda, and I believe he won right after that. So watch for him next week to kind of get his bearings with him as well. Connor Zilic down there at the bottom, two rough starts. Excited for him next week. An opportunity to climb up the leaderboard with a top 10 finish with Mr. Connor Zilic. So we'll keep an eye on him. Denny Hamlin, slow start to the season. Again, we said his season go one of two ways. Right now, it's going the other way. Plenty of time for him to turn it around. Kyle Larson, slow start. Kyle Larson, though, is a guy to watch out for. This is somebody who I would argue had a slow start last year. You can get away with a slow start, though, in the previous years because you win and you're in. And so he has some tracks that he'll have some strength in. Phoenix, Homestead, Vegas, those are going to be some courses that he has that ability to get after it. But again, slow start for Larson. You don't want to – we'll see if it has an impact. Maybe this thing will shape up. It's way early. There's going to be those overreactions. I get that. But it is interesting seeing how if this thing were to end today, it shakes up. But at that 16th spot, old SVG in the playoffs by 1 point. There's a 30-point separation from in the playoffs into not being in the playoffs, which is, I mean, that's not much. It's very tight-knit, which it should be. It's early on. But now we go into a track that favors SVG highly. I mean, this is going to be his bread and butter. So let's just go ahead and put 55 points on the board for old SVG. Well, now he's plus 56. So he could be top 5 after this weekend. Now, where does he bode in these oval courses that are going to come up, and then he's going to have another road course shortly after that. So, again, if he can maintain a top 15S finish position for the next 2 weeks, 3 weeks till the next road course, watch out, okay? If he can maintain through the summer a top 10 position because that's how all the road courses are stacked, maybe in a top 5 if he really does what he does in the road courses. He might solidify himself into the playoffs very easily, very early on, if he doesn't have anything go wrong, right? A lot of ifs. Connor Zilic throws a massive wrench into this. Is he going to be able to duplicate his success into the road course heading to Dakota next week and give a true battle? And again, guys like Ty Gibbs have been really good on the road courses. I expect them to get better. I love that Reddick and Carson Hocevar, both in the post-game pressers, were like, hey, we'll see in Phoenix. All right. Don't worry about us next week. We won't be there. Have written it off. And honestly, why not? Why wouldn't you? There's 4 of them. If you're not going to be good on them, just go through the motions. Don't be an idiot. Maybe collect some points. Move on. It's okay. Nobody's gonna write home about it. Both guys are sitting in great positions right now. They don't need to go sell the farm. Just go in and do your job. So we'll see. We'll see if we see some of the guys like the Gibbs, like your Connor Zilic, take that step. Kyle Busch is always really competitive at Coda as well too. He's had two bad go at it here in the first 2 weeks of the year, especially with a fast car in Daytona, and obviously gets into a nasty wreck here at Atlanta, giving him bumping him back just a bit. So should be a good week set up for Coda. Now, let's get into the juice. Was there a gap? Did he have an opportunity to squeeze that thing? Hell no, there wasn't a gap. And I get the point that we're gonna play a clip here from Denny where he says like they're trying to like make it seem because the media loves Carson Hocevar. There's fans that love Carson Hocevar. You can love him and care about what he's in success and still be critical, right? There can be a happy medium. To think that he's not good for the sport is just straight up asinine. I can't stand the arguments, and I like to talk a lot of smack. I like to get after it, and I'm new in the sense from a content creation standpoint of NASCAR, and I've always kind of watched far in my own little bubble. I'm in a different world. I love seeing this. I love seeing the smack talk. I love seeing the nuances of the different fan bases. It's much more than I thought it was, and I appreciate a good jab. Let's play this clip from old Denny here, okay, on Carson Hocevar, and I'll elaborate some more, and then I'll get into Spire Motorsports take or drama, if you will, and we'll continue with our thoughts. Take a listen, maybe.
I thought the TV guys did really well at calling a spade right off the bat. Started backing it up a little because they were like, oh, well, maybe there's a hole. Harvick stood firm. He's like, there might have been a hole, but it wasn't a hole by the time he got there. It's tough to watch. The media loves it, by the way. Just ask them and they'll tell you, oh, we love Hocevar. Well, no question you do because he's giving you some content. As a competitor, though, it's going to come back around. He'll be in a position where he thinks he's about to win, and then someone will decide that he's not.
He already is. He dealt with it last week. Nobody would go with him.
Going to, and that's going to suck. You're just never going to get anyone to give you a break. He certainly is exciting to watch if you're a race fan. Those are not the moves that you have to make to win the race nowadays. I think he's missing a little bit of the craftsmanship of winning these races beyond just having a fast car. Let me ask you this. I keep hearing, well, he's going for it. If I'm 3 car lengths behind Carson Hocevar and I go through the grass into turn 1,
Bad example.
wipe him out,
Over-exaggerated.
is that just me going for it?
I've
Or is
over-exaggerated.
that me being an idiot?
An idiot.
Come on.
I think we have to stop using it's just going for it. I almost hate that we're bringing.
Agree with the consensus of it, right? Like that was rage bait there at the end of that. That's a horrible comparison. Carson Hocevar, in my opinion, has improved dramatically. I do think him trying to squeeze the non-existent gap there with Christopher Bell was way out of line. There was you got to learn patience. There was unnecessary, wasn't needed. And I think in a way, Atlanta kind of inspires those quick movements because of, like we say, when you have a run, you just go for it. And he put a nasty move on Bubba. I mean, a couple at one of the points because of his runs. And so maybe you got a little caught up into it, but yes, the media loves it, and yes, he's going to have things bite him in the ass. There's no question about it. It reminded me when I was watching it what Kyle Busch has dealt with over the years. I have no friends. Nobody wants to hang out with me. Part of it is your partners are ass, right? Like if we're being honest with here, I don't think there's too many people on JGR that would just love hanging out with Denny. Him and Ty Gibbs don't seem to be the best of friends. Christopher Bell seems to get along and honestly respect a lot of bit of the back and forth. And Chase Briscoe, I don't think that guy has a negative bone in his body. But it's to sit here and think that people are Team Denny is asinine. I do think he is right. There is a craftsmanship on working with people. I think Carson proved that on Friday or on Saturday in the Truck Series. He's willing to push. He will push your ass into the front. But like everybody else out there, will go for the win because he typically does have a fast car and has his ability to get it done. I think there is a nice do-si-do about it. There is something that's to work with it. And I think he wants to work with people. I think he wants to be aggressive, maintain his personality. We loved that about Ross Chastain. We love that he was, AKA what now Carson's being referred to as the Hurricane. Now he's, reverted back from that because he got bullied by the big guys in the locker room of like, can't act like that. Can't do that. And Ross lost his swagger. He lost his pizzazz. He lost what made Ross Ross. And now, yeah, he's kind of fell into line and he still does his thing, but nowhere near what he was doing because he got in line. He got in order. Bullshit. All right. Nobody's your friend regardless. Let's be honest with it. They want to control it. They want to be this is my sport. This is how things should go. I'm not a fan of that. I love coming in and wrecking it. Is there a way that you can go about it? Absolutely. And there's gonna be a lot of people that don't like my take on that. Cool. Let me know down in the comment section. You probably already are. I love it. I'm here for it. So let's get up after it. Okay. It's good. It's fun. It's electric. The media loves it. The fans love it. We appreciate it because you're putting a little bit of a rift into what has always been like, hey, you gotta respect it. Ryan Blaney said that he texted him afterwards, hey, sorry, I got a little aggressive here. That's it. It happens. We're racing. If you're cool, if you understand, hey, I made a mistake. Now, obviously, you make a mistake and you continue to apologize and continue to do it. Now it's like it's becoming a habit. I understand those things. There's so many fine nuances to do this, and I know people aren't gonna like this comparison either. The Intimidator didn't get the nickname the Intimidator because he helped people win, because he worked with other people. Get over yourselves. Okay? You know you love it. And 10 years from now, you're going to love it. So he's fun to watch. That man came from no man's land, rode his ass all the way up to the front in typical Kyle Busch-esque way. My dad said it best. He's Kyle Busch on meth. All right. That's what it felt like watching him on Sunday. So sign me up. I'm bummed he's taking the week off here at COTA, but I'm excited to see if our guy, Connor Zilic, can find himself in an opportunity. We talked out of the rookies, which one we feel like will get their first win. Connor's been the favorite for the closest, I should say, the last few weeks, the last 2 weeks here. I think Connor's going to be the next one. Ty Gibbs is going to be a one to watch as well, too, heading into this week. So I think we have a great matchup heading into Dakota. Cannot wait. Love this road course. Then we've got Phoenix, which I'm excited because I feel like you really kind of get a true test of who's got the speed, of who took some work into the offseason to work on these oval courses. Can SVG build into it? The season's rocking. The seasons are rolling. If you guys are enjoying the content, smash it, like it. I don't know what that was, but do all the good stuff too. We'll see you boys in the next one. Peace and love, baby.